home. I've got some tea and put this here in the middle. All right. Yeah, since I've been doing these a little bit earlier from home on the weekends, uh, I guess people are still asleep or something. So I'm just gonna draw whatever, and if you want, you can watch it later because I can imagine that nobody's gonna watch right now. All right. Hey, one person. Hey, one person. Can you suggest? Oh no, they left. Oh, they left. All right. Well, no suggestions. I guess I will just draw something. A lot of the time when I sit down, I think I know what I wanted to draw, but then you come up to a blank piece of paper and you think, oh, geez, what the heck do I do? What am I gonna do? Um, Boy, oh boy. Well, I'm not sure. Let's just start. I guess I'm drinking tea, so I could drew a skeleton drinking tea. That's not a bad idea. Do his little hand here, holding the mug. In the morning, my hands are kind of shaky. I don't know if you can see, but it's not always very easy to draw with shaky hands. And if you do have shaky hands, I would recommend just kind of drawing, not putting your pencil so hard onto the page, just kind of drawing in these little kind of jerky, sketchy movements, and you can then put it all together when you're inking. It might not look very good when it's like this, but you'll get it. You tie it all together with ink, with some color, if that's what you're into. Right now, I'm just trying to get some pencils down of what it would look like if this skeleton was drinking from a mug with his pinky up. Oh, hello, three people. Welcome, welcome, and good morning. Sorry for the camera bounce. I still have to figure out a decent rig at home. I'm kind of just using like a, I don't know. It's like a piece of thick wire. Okay, so you guys pinky up. This mug is really large. I don't know. Maybe because his hand's kind of large. So his mouth would be, I guess, here-ish. So, sometimes I'll get really lucky and I do just like a nice line and everything kind of fits into it. And it's like, oh, such a professional. I just did it in one line and it worked. Uh, um, but, I think actually I drew it a little bit wrong because if I trace this through and then I kind of. But, for the sake of this image, I guess we'll just adjust the mug because we can always just make it a little shorter. Now that I'm looking at it, I guess I should have started with the skull. Sorry for the wobble. Lost two people. Thank you, whoever's holding on. It's funny every day seeing just how few people are watching. But like I said, I hope that anybody who does watch gets at least a little bit of some kind of benefit from this. And like I said, the reasons I'm doing it are mostly just to keep myself drawing every day. It's a good start to the day, kind of just like, people go and they work out, they do some push-ups. I do that too sometimes, but I think that warming up, starting the day with a bit of drawing, if you are somebody who enjoys drawing, is always good. Makes you feel like you've accomplished a little something even though you haven't. Okay. Now I'm gonna fix his hand a little bit. Okay, so there's a knuckle. There's the last knuckle, and then there goes the finger. The pinky. The proper pinky. There we go. Is his hand too small? It looks too small. Finger. Or knuckle. Here's the last one. That better? Yeah, that looks a little better. That'd be little arm bones coming out there. A little bit of neck bones here. I really should know the names of all the bones, but I don't. I know that this would be your collarbone. And you can see the shoulder blades a little bit coming up. There's some ribs right here. Continuation of the rib cage. The top of your arm bone. Then we go what is that? Shoulder blade. Shoulder blade's always weird. I kind of forget to draw them most of the time. If you go through my old drawings, you'll notice that a lot of the time there are no shoulder blades. That's just because I forgot to draw them. Another thing, my rib cages always come out different. There's very specific ways to draw rib cages, I'm sure. I just kind of wing it every time. I recommend learning how to properly draw a rib cage without just being like me. Okay, so in this situation, we have a skeleton that kind of is just going off the page. I don't really know a good elegant solution of how to deal with that, so I kind of just break off certain elements and just leave it at that. There's got to be a better way to do it. Two people, my most unpopular stream so far. Okay, so since I've only got two people, I'm just gonna make this as quick as possible so I don't bore y'all to death. And then I'll just ink this as quickly as I can, get out of your hair, and I will go and probably edit some videos, or maybe since it's Sunday, play some video games, get charged up with some positivity from Skyrim. I just started playing the Dawnguard DLC, and it feels like I'm playing goddamn Fallout 3 or Fallout 4. Just whoever wrote the Dawnguard DLC, and whoever, I don't know, yeah, wrote the dialogue, made the maps, everything's so simple, and the character that follows you around, the vampire lady, she just keeps dropping hints. Like, you don't get to figure out anything by yourself. It's really frustrating. I don't really like it when games just totally hold your hand like that. But then again, it is Skyrim. It's pretty much the easiest game ever made. But it's really fun. enough about Skyrim. Let's get back to drawing this skeleton. I always really like drawing jawbones. This little area right here, I don't know, there's something about it that's just kind of cool. I just like it. Teeth are always really fun to draw. You can make them look all jank. And the great part about skeleton teeth is you can make the skeleton have like the gnarliest looking teeth, and it doesn't really change their appearance to be more sinister. It's just, you know. Come on in. Is it locked? Oh, come on in. The puppy just got home. Hi, puppy. She said, I'm quiet, Dad.
The chicken got out.
Oh, did she chase a chicken?
She used the chicken.
Oh, no.
Well, we chased him home. It's so funny.
Did the lady come out?
I ran to her door.
Oh. I took your suggestion. I'm drawing the skeleton with the drinking with the pinky up, because I currently have 4 people watching, and I think I'm boring them all to death.
But it's fancy tea time.
Yeah, it's fancy tea time, but I just think that it's probably a little too early.
Too early for fancy.
Well, it's too early, and it's Sunday. Anybody with any sense is probably still asleep.
Because they don't have curfews.
Or they're probably watching like PewDiePie's live stream, which I think is happening right now. Yeah, the more I draw these like larger skeletons, the more I realize that I really wish I'd spent some time learning how to draw rib cages better, because they come out different every time. And now let's see. Yeah, really lopsided. Just do this. Okay, this is literally the worst ribcage I've ever drawn. Doesn't even stay on the page. There's like these little lumps here that come through. Ooh, another shoulder blade. Okay. World's best mouse. Perfect. Okay. No, erase. Yeah, it went down to one person watching. I wonder who it is. They're probably like, oh God, I'm never watching this shit again. Well, as long as I've got 1 or 2 people on stream, I'm pretty happy, to be honest. Haha, okay. Let's see. Is my light? There. Choose this one again. I just like this pen a lot. Okay. It looks a little weird when it's like half shaded like that. Again, please comment what you would like to see me draw, so then it will give me some ideas for the next streams. Because if I don't get any comments or ideas, I'm gonna just start going on Google, typing in how to draw, and then drawing whatever the hell the suggested things come up, in the hopes that people who search those how to draw whatever bunny or dog will then find these videos. It's a bit of a long shot, but what can you do except try everything? Just looking for ways to be able to make art and hopefully support myself doing it. Getting to 4,000 hours is a lot harder than it sounds. It makes sense though. I definitely agree with the policy, because if you can prove that you can get 4,000 hours of watch time, then it basically proves that you're dedicated enough to creating content at a large scale that you will keep doing it, rather than just, oh, I hit the money mark and I'm just going to stop. I don't think it works like that. I think you just have to keep producing content. And that's kind of what I intend to do. Because now that I've started filming those longer videos, and I've started going back to the studio every day, I actually feel like what a real artist might feel like. I feel tired at the end of the day. My eyes hurt. Yeah, I feel kind of poor, but that's just part of it. What do they always always say something about starving artists, that I guess that's how artists deserve to live, in starvation. Don't think you could live in starvation, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, life is good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I'm just happy that I can do this, and then sometimes I can go to the studio and make stuff like this, but much larger. Yeah, and before, when I was just focusing on Instagram, I really wasn't doing that. I was just focused on just doing a drawing a day, sometimes turning those drawings into merch, putting them on Threadless. And that got really old real quick when I started seeing all the piracy stuff pop up. But enough about that. You know, I just kind of ramble when I start inking, because there's a lot to ink in. Especially when you draw a skeleton's ribcage, you always have the option of not filling in the ribs, but then it just doesn't look as cool. And don't worry about filling in, like when you fill in black and there's these little white lines, little white spots left over in the black, don't worry about that, because it also just gives it kind of additional depth. Lines don't have to be perfect. In fact, when they're not, it's almost easier to empathize with a piece or relate to it, because you look at it and you think, well, look at these lines, they're kind of messy. You know, when I draw a line, it's kind of messy. But when you see something that's just perfect, or like a digital piece that's just, you have no comprehension of how it was created, it's a little bit more difficult to relate to it. I mean, at least for me. I guess I'm just speaking on my own behalf. But I feel like when I see like a piece created in our reality, not in like a digital reality, I always, as an artist, I always try to analyze how it was created. That's just a fun game that I play with myself. Yeah, I play with myself. Fun games. Ha ha ha. Anyway, I highly expect to look up and see that nobody is watching this stream at this point, but I'm a little bit distracted trying to finish this shading. I have a little secret right here. I cannot shade chins for the fucking life of me. Like this chin area, I think I might have destroyed it, but I'm gonna try and salvage it by adding more blackness to kind of counteract the fact that I added too much blackness there. And hopefully it'll kind of, the blotches will, you know, distract from that blotch right there. And a lot of the time, the audience does not notice what the artist does. Say there's things about my pictures that piss me off. Pretty much in every single picture I can show you something that I absolutely hate, or something that I could have done better. And when I point those things out, a lot of the time people are like, oh, I didn't even notice that until you pointed it out. And it's very true. Like a lot of the things that you as the creator will notice, most people will take in your picture or your piece that you created as a whole. They don't look at it in the parts as you would, the stages of creation or whatever. Because I'll look at this one, for example, and I hate the rib cage. I hate how I started and it didn't fit on the page. There's a lot of things that could be improved. Whereas somebody else looking at it would just see, I don't know, they'll just see the actual image of the skeleton holding the mug, and they won't think about, oh, well, this could have been better, or this sucks, you know. Again, sorry, just rambling. Okay, so this is a nice little skeleton drinking from Michael Scott's mug. Just want to outline the text a little bit. Another thing, when drawing with pens, you'll notice that I smear the pen because I put my hand all over it. Generally, you want to be very careful with this because you can ruin a picture by smearing the ink by just moving your hand a little bit. With these daily drawings, I'm not really worried about ruining the picture because I kind of think that they suck already. So these are just for practice. So yeah, the ink that I smudge everywhere, it really doesn't matter. It kind of actually adds to the aesthetic, I guess. Today's the 28th. Thank you everyone who popped in on this daily drawing. Today was number 4, and yeah, this is my this is what I've been filming on. So yeah, whenever I erase, it just starts doing that. It's not great. And here's my lamp. Pretty cool, right? Oh, thanks, Seth. Yeah, that was the end of it. But thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow.